Hi, everybody. It's Victoria Lorient-Faibish, and let's just see if this is going to... Let me just cancel this. Yeah. There we go. Hello. Oh, my God. We had a low connection, crooked camera, the whole thing. I mean, nothing is perfect. It's perfectly imperfect. Welcome to Courageous Conversations, everybody. I'm just going to start doing a bit of sharing. We have Kelly Duffin in the house. Woohoo!
Hello.
Yes. It's funny how sometimes when there's low connection right off the bat, is it still recording? In fact, it is still recording. And Kelly Duffin made it. You were on the highway.
I was.
From Burlington. Thank you for coming to my home. And some great people joining us. I'm going to do a little sharing because, listen, sharing is caring. The best way to get this information out, it's free information from a psychotherapist and a coach about very important topics. So if this resonates with you, if this is important to you, if this is the kind of thing that really matters to you, please share it. I will be sharing it on my group, Courageous Conversation, which I'd love you to join. I will also be sharing it on my pages, Victoria Lorient-Faibish, Courageous Conversations. Like it if you get a chance. So let me do a little bit of sharing right now. Thank you, everyone who's joining us. I love that you're here.
It is exciting.
Well, they're here for you, my darling.
It's exciting.
Yes. They're here for you. They're here for me. They're here for everybody. So let's just go. We're going to put it on Courageous Conversation. I got to put the glasses on, It's kind of geeky, dorky, but it's fun. And then I'm going to share it. Hi, Tamara. Nice to see you. Hi, moi. Nice to see you. I don't know if it's moi or moine. Hi, Kevin, my hubby. And let's see here. I'm going to just put it on all my pages and see about creating a bit of a community this morning. Page. I got a bit of an itchy nose because, of course, pollen. Who is suffering from pollen allergies? Me. Victoria is. Mother of God. See, my religious, I'm not religious, but I grew up in a Catholic school, so I have these, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. All right, here we go. Almost there. We're going to just share it all and have everyone come live and ask some questions. Please engage. Please let me know you're here. Hi, Tamara. Let me know you're here because when you engage with us, we get, information as to what is important for you to know. And at this point, we really want to deliver the best information possible. And one last group that I want to put it on, Follow Your Bliss. What a cool group that is. There we go. Awesome. So we got some sharing going. Okay, so the first thing, Kelly, and you can talk to them, you can talk to me, and anyone who wants to ask questions. This is a holistic, you're a holistic practitioner, right?
I am.
Right? And also you also do fitness coaching as well?
I do, yes. Yeah.
And the thing hi Wayne, hi Katrina, nice to see everybody. The thing that I most am interested in your story, because this is a courageous conversation, right, everyone? What really, really works in terms of what I want to know and what I want you to share with people is, people struggling with eating disorders is massive. Hi, Mike. Thank you for joining and thank you for your comment. We'll be in touch for sure. The thing about eating disorders is it's rampant.
It is.
It's everywhere. And whether you actually had an eating disorder, have one, or you're just conscious of body issues, body discomfort, body dysmorphia. Do you know what dysmorphia is? Where you see your body.
You see it in a way that doesn't actually reflect how your body looks.
Right.
You see it differently.
I mean, I've seen very, very thin people think of themselves as very fat.
Yeah.
Or very attractive people seeing themselves as very ugly. It's a very interesting thing, the dysmorphic piece, and a lot of us, I think, have aspects of that. Mm-hmm. I would like you to share with people what was the turning point for you. What kind of an eating disorder did you have? How long was it with you? And then what was the turning point for you? Please speak to them about that.
Okay.
Go for it.
I started into my holistic health career,
right.
And I had no idea that I was even developing an eating disorder. I remember I just... you get into this health kick, and I call it a health kick, but I was going through schooling and upon schooling, trying to be absolutely optimally healthy, and then you become terrified of anything that's unhealthy. So you can't eat anything that doesn't have optimally healthy ingredients.
So phobic almost.
Yeah, and it's that one's called orthorexia. That's where you cannot ingest something unless it is absolutely pure. So that's where it sort of started. And then somebody very dear to me, I was talking about how, wouldn't it be nice to look like, well, at the time, it was years and years ago, it was Jessica Simpson from Dukes of Hazzard, and wouldn't that be cool? And it didn't occur to me that we could change our bodies like that. And he said, that's easy, just it depends on calories in versus calories out. And
Come closer. Yeah, there we go. Is that better, Tamara? Let me know. All right, good stuff.
And he said, if you burn 700 calories a day in a week, that's 3,500 calories. That's a pound of fat. So he just gave me simple math. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm eating everything optimally healthy, and I'm going to make sure I'm killing myself at the gym to burn so many calories.
Holy.
And it just snowballed. And of course, I'm a holistic health practitioner, so to try to do, you couldn't, I just was in total denial. Like, no, I have a healthy relationship with my body because I value health. And,
right. So you're thinking it's healthy.
Yeah.
This is healthy.
No clue. And then I started experiencing anxiety and eczema and psoriasis and all of these symptoms. And I thought, what is happening to me? I'm healthy. And I didn't want to share anything that was wrong with me because heaven forbid people discredit you and, I'd lose my clients or I wouldn't get new clients. And I thought, something's wrong. And I started getting really panicky about food. And if I didn't know the calories in something, I would walk 2 hours a day the next day to make sure I had offset it.
Okay, so you were really in a very almost OCD-ish relationship with food.
Very. And I thought, okay, well, weight training, building muscle is what burns the fat off your body. But I couldn't see, you can't see the calories being burned on a fitness tracker or something when you're building the muscle. So I thought, forget weight training. I'm just going to walk while I train other people in the gym. And it just became, it was the most
You were not
ridiculous,
walking the talk.
Not at all.
No.
I was totally incongruent with what I was preaching. I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. And so I thought, I'm going to pull myself out. And I left my business absolutely alone, and I checked into a hospital.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How, again, that's courageous.
Yeah.
That's courageous. And what was that like? Checking yourself into a hospital for a body dysmorphia, eating disorder, what is that like?
That was horrific. You're sitting in the waiting room and you're thinking, I don't belong here, but I did. Maybe more so than the other women, Really? And then here comes the fighting part. So now I'm learning from the dietitian at the hospital. Nothing against dietitians, absolutely not. But I come from a very holistic nutrition background.
Very different.
So they're going by the
food guide.
Oh, I was just going to say that. They're going by Canada's food guide, which... Ugh. So now they're telling me, well, you have to eat this many grains a day, but I'm not eating gluten, and you have to eat this much dairy, but
And let's be clear, that Canada food guide has had to be updated, and it has been updated. It's a little better right now, which is more Mediterranean. It's more Mediterranean fruits, vegetables, and healthy proteins, not as much grains and all this stuff. But at the time, this is what they're pushing.
Yeah, they were pushing and they didn't know about, and I said, well, what about the inflammatory aspects of gluten? Because that's what flares up my psoriasis. And they said, no, you need this much grains, this much dairy. And I was getting very sick then because I started eating all these things that my body was not tolerant to.
Wow.
And they don't let you succeed in the course, the eating disorder course, unless you are. So that was hard. So
that is so challenging.
It was.
Did it cause you to go into depression?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Because here I am preaching to people, not really preaching, but coaching people that do have gluten issues, not to eat it. I was highly anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought there's got to be a way that I can meet this halfway. So I just took it on myself, and I just made up my own program that suited optimal health but wasn't restrictive.
Right.
And
because the thing about restrictiveness is it creates a sense of where you're really deprived.
Yeah.
And the deprivation feeling really turns on a part of the brain that is survival-ish.
Yeah.
And that survival can create desperation.
Yeah.
And create addiction. Frankly, that really is one of the tip-offs to addiction.
Oh, absolutely. And I struggled with substance abuse back in the day too because I was always so anxious and so I just developed this program and took myself out of it, reset, because I know about resetting metabolism. I just wasn't able to authentically myself
do it.
So
a couple people are saying crazy that they're so far behind. Sharita says, and Tara says, very, very courageous, and you
Thank
are.
you.
And Tamara, thank you for letting us know. I just want to make sure we can see her. Yes, the gorgeous Kelly Duffin. And you know, the thing about when you buck the medical system, there, did you feel a sense of insecurity inside as you're doing that?
A little bit, because I sort of felt like a small fish in a big pond, and I thought I have to get this message across. And I'm seeing the other women in this eating disorder course,
Whoa.
and I thought, no, let me save you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but you have to save yourself first.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is in the early 90s, very, very early 90s, 92, I wrote a play called Coming Out of the Fridge, which was a serious comedy about eating disorders. I should re-put it on. It got a lot of acclaim at SummerWorks festival, and then it got a lot of press because, of course, eating disorders. Everyone wants, and it was a serious comedy about eating disorders. But the key thing that I basically interviewed about 60 people with eating disorders. I mean, I myself, thankfully, never had an actual per se eating disorder, but I'm very body conscious, and it's something that in my family we grew up with all of those issues, and eating disorders are definitely in my family culture. You know, a weird relationship with food and body, dysmorphia and all that. But the thing is that one of the common themes that when I was interviewing everybody, this is pre being a psychotherapist, was that the medical system, the doctors would so have no understanding of it that they would say things like, well, you just have to stop.
Just eat. Yeah.
Just eat, or just stop throwing up.
Yeah.
Or just stop, starving yourself. Just stop. Just stop. And I remember thinking as I was listening to these people, men, women, cruel. It's cruel. It's a cruel thing to say to somebody. It's an absolutely cruel thing to say to someone. And I'm wondering if that was something that happened to you. Did you have that kind of cruelty? Maybe unintentional cruelty, but did the medical system, did you feel a sense of victimization within that system?
Absolutely. It's the feeling of being misunderstood, which is for me a trigger. Like, I need to be understood, and why can't they understand this simple? So I bring all the research with me to the hospital, and please look at this. No, because the food guide says this, and it was crazy. So I actually started researching into an interesting experiment that was done with soldiers way back in the day, where they took these soldiers.
Before you continue, come closer, come in my little studio here.
Yeah.
All right.
So they starved these soldiers, and these soldiers had no body problems, nothing at all. It was just an experiment, and it showed.
What was the experiment, though?
To take all their calories and just half them completely.
Whoa.
And just see what happens to a body, and can a body perform. And they started going mentally insane, a lot of them, with anxiety and then addiction.
Simply by halving the calories.
And then they monitored what happened when they brought the calories back, and it really changed the structure of their mind and how the mind functioned, even with no body issues whatsoever.
So when your brain goes into starvation, when I'm working with someone with an eating disorder who has, for example, anorexia, I can't, it's beyond my scope to have them do it alone without just me. They need a program where they're also eating.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because the body, when it goes, and the brain, when it goes into starvation, what you're just saying, it literally cannot take in healing information.
Yeah.
It cannot take in good messaging. It cannot take in, so that's what I think you're saying. So what changed for you? What was the tip-off? What was the thing how did you get the hell out of that?
I thought, you know what, how am I going to, my dream is to help people become healthy and to help them love themselves. So I thought, I need to, let's just work on me and forget anybody. I just quit doing my business, and I started doing me. And it was grueling, and I thought, I'm a sham and all of this. And I just started doing an experiment. I thought the easiest way was to just experiment on myself. Let's just see what happens when I start eating a lot and exercising properly and doing all of these things that I coach people to do. And sure enough, I was able to work on my mind that way. I was also working with a psychotherapist as well. And and it was quite a journey.
So you started the reset of your brain, of your body. How about supplementation? Did you ever take supplements?
I had to, yeah. I ended up taking, oh my gosh, almost like a shot glass full of supplements a day, which
What were the main supplements for you that were important?
Vitamin D.
Yeah.
Calcium.
So massive, everybody. Vitamin D. As a holistic psychotherapist, I also have a lot of education in the supplement world. So vitamin D.
Yeah, because with
massive.
the mind.
Brain health. Yeah. Absolutely.
The mind, it's funny when the mind stops working properly, you don't notice. But when it starts working properly, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So vitamin D, any other, I'm into fish oils. I'm definitely
huge. Yes, definitely every day. Calcium was big.
Yes.
And magnesium.
A relaxant.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you ever do anything to like a 5-HTP, a natural antidepressant, or anything like that?
No, okay. Nothing like that. They told me to go on meds at the hospital, of course, for antidepressant and anxiety, and I couldn't do it. And I didn't do it.
Well, as a holistic person, I'm not stupid. People who are suicidal absolutely need antidepressant.
Yeah.
Assistance from the chemical world.
Yeah, there is a place.
There is an absolute place for it. But a lot of people who are sort of in the medium to low depression, I have seen do very well on a combination of fish oils, D, and 5-HTP, which is an amino acid. You could never combine 5-HTP with an antidepressant because that's not allowed. That's not a good thing. But I've seen some really, really amazing success stories, natural treatment of eating disorders, and also the thing about eating disorders and supplements is that I've noticed that people who have eating disorders will see supplements as calories.
Oh yeah, that's I wasn't in that grouping, but that is a definite. Yeah,
thankfully, okay.
Yeah, but I was able to. It's also like the chicken and the egg idea, where does the depression cause the eating disorder, or does the eating disorder cause the depression?
And I was excellent question.
Yeah, I was never anxious. I was never depressed. I was always on point. But through the eating disorder, that's where that all came from. Absolutely. So I knew how to reset my mind for myself because everybody's different with nutrients and with food.
What's a nutrient or a food that is somewhere someone should start?
Fats. Healthy fats.
And people are freaking out right now. Yeah. I feel like people are throwing their phones out and their just when you just said that. Okay, so healthy fats. What's a healthy fat?
Healthy fats, avocado, fish oil, coconut oil, nut butters. I was avoiding anything because they're high calorie, right? But they're good calories.
And what do they do?
The brain.
What do they do for your brain?
They really just, I don't even know how to describe fats in the brain, but they caused me to be able to calm down, first of all, and to be able to think slower. Yeah. And
it brings basically the biochemistry of healthy fat intake creates a relationship in the brain in which anxiety comes down. Mm-hmm. So, again, this is things that people need to start for themselves. Yeah. It's a no pressure situation, but knowledge is power. Knowledge is power.
It is.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing also is, the reason I wanted to have you here, we met in Sedona at a wonderful conference called Women Speak. What a great conference that was.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was a magical location and the whole 9 yards. But the thing I wanted to have you on, not only do I admire you and admire your work and all of these things, I felt like, eating disorders to overcome an eating disorder is very courageous.
It's a lot harder than people would think who have never experienced one. Yeah.
It's really hard.
You get really wrapped up in that. And unfortunately, I see a lot of eating disorder action behind the scenes with health professionals.
Yeah. People are very embarrassed, if you're a health professional, to...
And if you're a personal trainer and you're trying to coach people, you really want to look the part. So you start to negate the health to look the part. Yeah.
Right. But you have a history of courage.
I do. I do crazy things in my life.
Okay, tell us about one of the things. Why did you leave your ready-made marriage? Can you believe this, everybody? She's like, all the invitations are out.
Everything was done. The wedding was paid for. It was ready. It was a couple weeks out.
Are you serious?
And I remember.
It was a couple of weeks out.
Yeah.
And you left.
I ran. Yeah.
Runaway Bride was based on you.
Yeah, I rode a motorcycle at the time, and I was working at a bar, and I rode home from this bar that was, it's in Mississauga. I'm in Burlington. I don't know where you are, but that's a good 20-minute drive, and I didn't recall the entire drive. I got home, and I thought, wow, what happened? And my fiance comes down the stairs and said, I'm all ready, and this is done, and talking about the wedding, and I said, I can't do it. I got it. No. And I thought, that's what's going to happen. It was $21,000 that I'm just You don't get refunded.
Holy balls. Or not balls. The other.
This isn't me. I'm not being authentic. I don't feel like me.
Wow.
And I just left. Yeah.
So where'd you go?
Oh, I started traveling. I went out to the far out end of Mexico to learn with a shaman and do sweat lodge ceremonies. And I went to the jungle in between Haiti and the Dominican to a treehouse village for a while. And I just... What's
the goal when you're doing that? What are you saying? Okay, I need what?
Self-discovery, I think. Because
Okay.
I was such a codependent person.
Okay.
And I was relying on my fiance to tell me everything about myself. And I thought, I don't even know who I am. And I couldn't make basic life decisions without his input.
Right.
I just was so anxious and attached.
Okay.
And I just thought, I need to...
You needed to really heal that over-attachment. Mm-hmm. And the only way was to literally leave it, sounds like.
Literally.
And codependency is so massive when it comes to love relationships.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't even know how incredibly lost in the other person they are.
Oh, yeah.
In which they have, my first book, Find Your Self Culture, it's all about finding that self culture.
Yeah.
And you lose it. When you lose it, it's almost like a frog boiling to death that was put in a cold pot of water on top of a burner and doesn't know that it's just about to boil to death.
Yeah.
Because it's happening so gradually.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And no matter where you go, there you are. So it didn't matter what corner of the world I went to, I was met with myself every time. And I had
So did you work on your codependency?
I did a lot. I'm not familiar with any psychotherapy or whatever myself. I've never taken the courses, so I just kind of thought, okay, well, all I can do is avoid social media and just find myself. I'm going to remote places where there was no connection. To just figure out who I was, really.
It's we say ballsy, but testicles are very sensitive. Female genitalia is less sensitive.
Yeah.
So what's the word we're going to use instead? I don't know. I don't want to be too graphic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you've got some courage, you
Yeah.
know? And it sounds like the thing I love about people who are courageous, or who, that's why I do this, is because I believe that to live your best life, you've got to be courageous. I really believe that.
Yeah.
But I really feel like you have been practicing courage.
Yeah.
You have been practicing, I think, from the eating disorder on out, and maybe even before.
You have to lean into, well, I did for myself. I don't want to tell anyone what to do.
Well, no, but you're right on. You're right on.
Lean into what scares you, and it's incredible what you find. Because you can coach other people into what scares them all day long, and you're not going to figure it out for yourself until you,
I got a question. How? Everybody, how do we lean into, I have some ideas because I work with people in the office. I want to know yours.
Okay.
How does a person, everybody, lean into to what scares you?
I will take the eating disorder analogy. I use this analogy for every part of my life. So if calories didn't exist, would I eat that? Yeah. But then I take that to, okay.
Wait, if calories didn't exist, would I eat that? Okay. Keep going.
But I kind of use that as an example to translate it into the life situation. So if you weren't afraid at all of what anyone else thought, what would you do?
Ooh, everybody, wait, let's let that pause. Say it again.
If you weren't afraid of what anyone thought in this moment, what would you do authentically?
And the parallel is, if calories didn't exist, would you eat it?
Would you eat it? Yeah.
If you weren't afraid of what people thought, what would you do?
So with my wedding,
wow, that's like...
Yeah, your parents pay $21,000. You don't want to leave the wedding. But if I didn't care at all what they think, would I be getting married? No. So therefore, money didn't matter.
Wow.
Nothing mattered. Didn't matter what they thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so huge. I just want to freaking linger on that, man.
Or if you're not afraid, what would you do? Never mind what people think, but if you're just not scared,
if fear didn't exist in this, if fear was not a part of this, what would you do, or would you do this?
Because that was with my business too. If people weren't, if I didn't care what people thought about me and how healthy I am, what would I be doing right now? And is it authentic to myself and my business?
So you're writing a book?
I am writing a book. Yes.
Because this is some really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Because I love the concept that you present, that I will use, by the way. If the calories didn't exist, what would you eat? If what people thought didn't exist, what would you do? And I think that is such a powerful set of questioning. I really believe that. So I'm I love this. I love it. I just love it.
The book was ready, and it was very...
Now, what's it called?
It doesn't have a name yet.
But you're getting it published.
Yeah, so I pulled it all out because I wanted to put my story into it. It was very health. It was very drink this much, eat like this.
Oh, instructional.
And I thought, I want to put everything we're talking about into it.
Again, very courageous to do that, because as professionals, we tend to want to maintain our professional distance. Yes. And as I was saying to Kelly before our live started, as a person who's been doing this for 25 years, I definitely hid behind my professional stance and things. Only the past number of years have I really been putting my skin in the game and telling people who I really am, and that's been extremely freaking scary, but really powerful.
It's terrible. I didn't want to let anyone know about the eating disorder or overcoming it, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to, and it was so terrifying that it was a physical feeling.
Oh my goodness.
And once I did, I thought, oh my gosh, now I'm not on some pedestal to people. They can relate to me, and now I can help them.
More relatable.
I've been there,
more relatable. Okay, so a couple things that I want people to know. The first is, the book's not out, but you're working on getting the book out. I think people really want to know when that book comes out. So how will they get in touch with you? How do they work with you? Because you're a coach, an international coach. You do fitness coaching. You do also some life coaching. And some holistic health coaching. Yes. I
specialize a lot in autoimmune diseases, helping people heal from that. So,
for example,
fibromyalgia, diabetes, and MS. So are the main ones that I deal with.
Amazing. Amazing. I have some family that have MS. One family member that has MS. So that's that's amazing that you're doing that. And you work with supplementation as well as food and exercise. Okay.
It's basically the 6 foundational principles of someone's lifestyle. So all thinking, breathing, moving, sleep, nutrition, and hydration. Fantastic. If all of those are balanced, we're good.
And things change.
And thinking is first. So.
Thinking is number one. Thinking is number one. Sharita says she loves this conversation. I think I love this conversation too.
I do too.
And Tara says she needs to contact you, so this is awesome. And this is so good. Okay, what is Kick It with Kelly?
Yes, the business is called Kick It with Kelly, as in kicking your habits, but hang out with me, because I have a motto that it's got to be a good time. It has to be a good time.
Some joy, some fun.
When you're healing, you can overcome anything and still have a good time at it, and that's so important.
Kick It with Kelly. Is that .com?
It is. kickitwithkelly.com.
No,
just
kickitwithkelly.com.
You don't even have to worry about the W's.
And you don't even have to be in the West. You don't have to be
anywhere in the world.
So you're doing both online and live. And we're going to start to wrap our time together, but here's what I would like to ask you, putting you on the spot.
That's fine.
I would like you to leave people with a really strong nugget of gold about what's the most important thing they need to be hanging on to and going for.
Whatever your innermost authentic desires is for your life, it's possible. You can do it. And if you weren't afraid, you would do it.
Right.
So seek out what you need to find to get it done. And do it. It's never too late. You're never too old. You're never too sick. You're never too, we have all these labels that we place. Life is not from point A to point B. Life changes. It goes all over the place.
That's right.
So,
And you are certainly a testament to that. Thank you so much for joining me, for coming all the way in from Burlington. I like the live experience with people, in person, as opposed to the little box on the side. I mean, I'll have to do that with Barbara Hewson from do you know Barbara Hewson? She wrote Sacred Success.
Yes.
I want to have her on, and
she's awesome.
She's awesome. It'll have to be a little thing. Listen, everyone, I'm going to start our wrap up. I could go on and on with you. This is so good. Listen, please follow Courageous Conversations. Join my group. It's a closed group, but it's a supportive group, and it is a way for people to just sort of share and be supported. So come on, Courageous Conversations. Follow this lovely lady, Kelly Duffin, at Kick It with Kelly.
It's on Facebook as that. YouTube channel is Kick It with Kelly.
All over.
Same,
Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Courageous Conversations. And also, I'm going to be having a couple of amazing guests also coming up next Wednesday. I've got a call-in show, an amazing native, beautiful Celtic healer, shaman. Can't wait. And some really other guests, beautiful other guests coming on as well. Please keep following. Please share this widely, because I know that this is really, really great free information for the planet at large that needs us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have a brilliant day, everyone. Keep having courageous conversations with yourself and someone else. All right. Here we go. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I'm going to do this. Let's see. Yes. Thank you.